Hello everyone, welcome to 1.5 Degrees, the podcast where together we explore the science, solutions, and stories involved in the fight against climate change. I'm your host, Heidi Pan, speaking with the professionals behind the latest research, policies, culture, and innovations shaping our response to global environmental challenges. For today's episode, we are joined by Ali Waters and her dad, Harry Waters, to discuss their work with resolving plastic pollution, increasing eco-literacy, and Ali's exciting 1 in a million litter pick campaign and more. Ali is a 10-year-old changemaker serving as a chief pickup officer with Kids Against Plastic and was the youngest speaker at the World Retail Congress. And her dad, Harry, is a teacher and founder of Renewable English. Thank you so much both for joining us today. It's truly, truly an honor, and I'm very excited to have you guys.
Thank you so much for having me. And
thank you for having me too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we spoke, oh gosh, it was a while ago, but I mean, just hearing about the work that you guys are doing, it's incredibly awesome. And I mean, I guess just to start, could you, Ali, tell us more about what you do as a chief pickup officer with Kids Against Plastic?
So we're just coming back from our summer break, but I usually work with the team to come up with different pickup ideas like the 5-minute blitz, and I try to encourage others to join in as much as possible.
That's so cool. Wait, could you tell me more about the 5-minute blitz? That's such an interesting name.
It's a litter pick. You find a place where you want to do a litter pick, and then you put on a timer for 5 minutes, and then when the 5 minutes is done, you see how much plastic and litter you've picked up in 5 minutes.
One of the things that you noticed when you talk to people about litter picking, I remember you saying, people don't want to do it because they always think that you have to go out with loads of people and you have to organise a huge community litter pick. You said, why don't people just do like a 5-minute litter pick or something like that? And I was like, that is a really good idea, actually, Ali. Why don't you suggest that? And she did.
That's so cool. Yeah, no, that's so smart too, because a lot of people think it's just a lot of work, but really it's just picking up plastic. And I mean, it doesn't take too much time if you only have 5 minutes to spare. It's not that much to pick up plastic. So that's really awesome. Yeah, and I mean, you have now another campaign with Kids Against Plastic, the 1 in a million plastic pick. I mean, it's a really awesome goal, and I guess I really want to ask, why did you start this?
Well, I started it because honestly, I just wanted people to get involved. They were like, you don't have to be like a person that's like, they have all the gadgets and everything to do a litter pick. You can pick up any amount of litter wherever you want. And I wanted people to know that they also have to get in as a team, and it's not only one person that has to do it. So it's a team effort. It's a team effort.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Just with the campaign tying, it's I've seen the map that you have in terms of, mapping up where people can pick up litter and record it, and it seems it's definitely everyone's getting involved all over the world, and that's so important to emphasize that, it's not that one person needs to do everything, but it's all of us coming together. That's such a really good message.
146,000 pieces so far.
Yes.
More or less. So the more people that do it, the better, really.
Because I need to get to 1 million pieces by the 23rd of June next year.
Is there a reason that you picked that date?
Because it's my 10th birthday.
Well, next year isn't.
It's my birthday. My birthday, that's why.
That's so cool. Gosh, yeah, and you kind of touched on this a little bit, but I mean, what do you hope people will learn from this? And just getting involved or sharing the campaign?
For me, it was beyond just the litter. Litter picking got me into environmentalism, and from there I've learned a lot, and I keep learning. When I first saw a plastic bottle, I didn't realize it took water and a whole bunch of oil to make just a bottle like this, and then it's all the water that you need to put in it. Then you see how many of them there in the supermarket, and it really makes you think. But more than that, beyond plastic and pollution, I want people to feel like they're involved in something and in doing something positive and working towards a common goal. I felt that since joining Kids Against Plastic, and I hope others can feel it too.
What does being involved with the litter pick campaign look like?
It can be as much or as little as you, like, to be honest, it can be you picking up 1 in a million pieces of plastic litter, or it can be you organizing a community pickup or simply going out for a 5-minute blitz.
That's so true. Yeah, and I also want to highlight that you can record this in the map that you have.
The app for 1 in a million, it's really easy to put the litter pick on. So you just put your name up here, and then you add as many numbers as you want. It automatically has the location, and then you just add all the litter pieces, all the pieces of litter, and then you go, and it tells you a total of collected plastic, and then you just hit the tick, and it's fine.
And it goes straight to the map.
Send survey, and it goes straight to the map.
That's so cool. Thank you for showing us that. You kind of mentioned that litter picking was kind of what brought you into environmentalism. I mean, this is kind of like a question for either of you or both. How did you or why did you get into environmentalism?
During the pandemic, we saw lots of different science videos. One was called Let's Go Live with Maddie and Greg. I learned a lot from them and also found out about Amy and Ella from Kids Against Plastic. I realized they were amazing role models and wanted to be like them.
And yeah, for me, it was a long time ago. Back when I had hair, probably. Even before that,
when you had hair, because you shaved.
Yeah, I did shave my hair for Kids Against Plastic, of course. Definitely not also because I was going bald. But anyway, it's years and years ago. I remember even when I was, 4 years old, my family were very politically active, and we've always been kind of involved in these kind of things. And yeah, I've always thought that we could be doing more and we could be doing more. And then when this one was born, it was that kind of push of saying, what else can you do? What other things can you do? And as I was a teacher at the time, and I still am a teacher, to be honest, I realized the power that education had and how we could spread the message very easily as teachers. So it kind of pushed me in that direction.
Yeah, and I mean, you had mentioned, Harry, that this is, like just the kind of work is definitely involved with, education and whatnot. Could you go into, I guess, like, and also just how Ali is involved in this as well, the mission of Renewable English?
Well, yeah, Renewable English also came about kind of pandemic time because I was working for a publisher at the time, and I realized how few materials there were in textbooks, in particularly in English language textbooks. And I also had worked for so many years with students and saw the power that different campaigns made and the difference that we could make on that level. And I thought, we need more materials, we need more information for teachers and for students. So I was like, if no one else is going to do it, well, I guess I will. And there are a lot of people within the English language teaching industry, I guess, who have the kind of similar goals. So I drew from their experience and just thought, why not? Let's go for it.
Yeah,
and she helps me out because she's brilliant and she's got loads of ideas, and we have top tips and thoughts and stuff like that she thinks of, that she comes up with, and she just kind of helps me out basically. And also
help tips,
yeah, well, we help each other, and most people prefer to listen to her than some bald beard. So she jumps in on that.
Man, I really appreciate the work of just like teachers in my life as well, and just, I mean, thank you for what you do as well in terms of just, yeah, there's so much potential in terms of just getting this into the classroom. Like, why, I mean, school is kind of, it's supposed to like prepare you for the future and whatnot, and yeah, no, I've definitely seen that sometimes it's not really emphasized as much as it probably could be or should be in the classroom. Like, why don't you prepare us for these things that's going to affect us in the classroom. So yeah, I mean, Ali, could you like maybe drop a few tips that you have from Renewable English that you really like in general?
Yeah, I like food waste ones. So anyone could save food. They've all been a fun and learning experience for me, but I think my favorite were the ones about food waste that I said. It's so easy not to waste food, but people have got into the habit of just throwing stuff in the bin. That's something we can all do better at. Something I also recommend is if you don't eat all your vegetables or if you don't eat all your food, just call someone who's very eager to eat anything on the plate, and he's sitting right next to me. And I have a book that's called Dustbin Dad, and he'll just eat anything. So, yeah.
Well, as long as it doesn't contain any animal products, I'm fine with it.
Well, if I don't eat it, you do.
I eat whatever you leave. But usually, because you serve yourself, you usually eat whatever's left. So she's good at eating.
Me too. Yeah, no, and on the very rare occasion that I do, leave food behind, like we have a compost bin, like we have room in that in our backyard. Like that's always cool habits to incorporate.
And learning how to make leftover meals are brilliant as well. So anything you do have left.
On an organic bin, so like every time someone doesn't finish their dinner, their lunch, any meal, they just scrape into there. And then my dad, there's up there, like there's up a hill, there's a place where you can like just chuck it in the ground and there's like stuff can grow.
Just like in speaking with you guys, I'm thinking about like how I haven't seen very many change makers, at Ali's age before. And I mean, I really want to ask about just what that experience has been like.
For me, I have to be honest, it's been incredible to watch. Incredible to see that since she joined Kids Against Plastic, basically, she's had these ideas. And I think one of the best things for me to see is that she's learning every day, and she never thinks that she knows everything. She realizes that she's 10 now and like she can learn more things, and that she can relearn behaviors that, suddenly it's not this is the right way to do it and this is the wrong way to do it. She realizes that maybe it isn't one or the other. Maybe it isn't black or white, and there are these gray areas, and she has this learning process, which as an adult is a really difficult thing to have, because once you decide something as an adult, you're like, well, that's right and that's it. But it's really helped me watching her learn and grow that I can also change my ideas. I can change my opinions. Maybe palm oil isn't the worst thing in the world. It just depends how we grow it. Maybe there are all these different things that for me as a parent, as an adult, it's great to watch and learn from her. But how is it for you? How do you feel about it?
Well, I'm very grateful for the opportunities that I've been given in the past 3 years. I like it a lot because there's so many people getting involved and so many people like helping the planet, and it makes me feel really happy.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes me happy too, to see the work that you're doing. And yeah, no, I feel like everyone has a lot to learn on that part. So just big kudos to you for, I mean, just being who you are. That's kind of tying into this, what is something that like, older change makers, what do you think that they could do to help support, younger change makers like yourself?
They can listen to our ideas and share them wherever they can. They can tell other adults about them. Most importantly, I think they can give us guidance. We're just kids at the end of the day. We don't know that much stuff. If older people can listen to us and point us in the right direction, it would be a great help.
I echo that for sure. Like I'm in high school, so we need guidance and just people to listen to younger people. That's so important. Thank you for that. I guess this is for Harry as well, like what advice do you have, for I guess like caretakers just in supporting young change makers like Ali?
I think that first thing as well, listen. What do you want to do? What do you want to change? What are the areas that you are interested in? And again, guiding and helping, stuff like setting up an email address, and getting in touch with, I don't know, getting in touch with journalists, or getting in touch with amazing people who run podcasts, or whatever you can do to help and kind of guide, because I often forget that she's only 10, and it's amazing to me because 1 minute she can be playing, I don't know, schools or whatever, and then the next minute she's out there speaking in front of 800 business leaders, or playing football as well, of course. Like, you do like playing football, and it's sometimes really difficult because the world is moving so fast. We need to stop and realize that not all of her life should be focused on trying to change the planet, and some of it should be focused on being a kid and playing football.
Nintendo Switch.
And Nintendo Switch, and doing karate and all these things that you need to do. So listening, guiding, and reminding her that to enjoy these precious moments of youth while they still last.
That's so true. Yeah, no, I appreciate just the work that you're doing with supporting Ali. Yeah, no, we definitely, I'd love to see more people do that in terms of supporting us when we're younger in this work. And I mean, yeah, I guess to close off, I mean, if you guys could, I mean, turn back time, probably not gonna happen, but is some advice that you might give to yourself when you like got started in this work, or just when you were younger?
I mean, I'm only 10. I've still got much to learn, but I think I'd tell myself never be afraid of using your voice and be ready to admit that you got it wrong.
I mean, she's wiser than I am. So there are so many things I'd tell myself. First of all, I'd probably tell myself about the damage that fossil fuels were causing to the planet and start campaigning about it sooner. I'd maybe tell myself a few lottery winning numbers. Does that count? Yeah, I think I'm going to echo Ali's sentiment there, that be ready to admit when you're wrong. I was very much I was very much brought up in a way of, it's not that you're always right, but try and make sure people don't think you're ever wrong. And always come up with an answer for something. And I realized that when I was a teacher, when I was in front of a classroom and students would ask me questions, I'd usually try and come up with an answer, even if I wasn't particularly aware of what it was. Until finally I realized that that's not helping anybody. And it actually empowers your students a lot more if you stop and say, I don't actually know, why don't we find out together? So that...
Because they think teachers know everything.
Exactly. But guess what, guys? Teachers don't know everything. Especially this one.
Oh gosh, that's astounding news. But I mean, that's also just, yeah, no, that's something we need to normalize. Like it's okay to not know things. We're all not all knowing people. And just admitting that, or I guess it's not something to admit really, but just accepting that is a step towards finding out what we can learn going forward, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, I'd love to also just take a moment to highlight resources that you guys have with both Kids Against Plastic and also Renewable English. Just for those that, listening to this want to, be it like support young change makers or just get more, climate education into their classrooms, where can they find you guys?
They can find this one at kidsagainstplastic.co.uk. And if you do /1 million litter pick, all of the information's in there for that one. It's got the map, it's got how to get the app, it's got all of those super fun things. And in terms of Renewable English, you can find us at renewableenglish.com, or we're all over Instagram and Facebook as well. So YouTube, to be honest, we're there too. So you can find all of that stuff there, where we have regular updates from the campaign too.
Thank you so much for that. And I'll again be sure to link everything And yeah, no, just thank you for what you guys do and for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you a lot.